Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sohum Reactions. Peace, love, and positivity to you. Today's request comes from Sean, who's sending us two songs from Van Morrison. I am always excited to listen to Van because this man can quickly access those nuanced emotions that we all have inside, but sometimes have trouble naming, but the music helps to get us there. His music is always very spiritually grounded, melodically beautiful. Texturally, everything is always so vibrant and lush. Van knows how to write a good song, and really, he transcends the idea of music itself because I feel like the work he puts out there, you don't even need to understand English to feel its poetic and spiritual impacts. So I'm very excited to jump into this one today. But once again, thank you to Sean for the reaction request. Now, my friends, let's jump into it, starting with a song that probably has the longest title of a song I've ever read before. You don't pull no punches, but you don't push. Let's begin. Okay, 4/4, even though the movement in the melody is... Whoa! Ooh. Whoa! We get some flute in here too? The first 30 seconds are delivering.
A tomboy.
You can hear the bluesy delivery.
Your soul satisfaction. Well, fucking
I gotta say, I've never heard vocals this bluesy set against flute like this. The only other example I have is Jethro Tull, and I still have a world to discover with Jethro. This is still fresh, though. I really like the different instruments that have already populated this mix. Not expecting that. And Van, vocally, he is delivering, dude. He's putting it out there. Why am I not thinking of Stevie Wonder? Stevie Ray Vaughan too, the Stevies? Oh my god, dude, I love the energy.
Your soul satisfaction.
I feel like this is the most out there Van Morrison I've heard so far. Definitely pushing it vocally.
Get down to the real soul. I'm in the real soul people. I'm talking about the real soul people.
Oh my god.
Get down to the real soul.
When he throws his voice out there, I love the passion that it takes to get there.
Shine our land until the day of blowing wonder.
Listen to the movement of the bass too below all of this.
And as much what the river is not.
Oh, I'm getting overwhelmed. I am getting overwhelmed by how much is being thrown my way.
Shine our land until the day of blowing wonder.
And then the keys come in. So it was flute, bass, drums, and vocals, then the keys. Oh, they're like water droplets.
Yeah, I'm going much what the river's not. Yeah, right.
Oh.
Blake and the eternals.
Arpeggios up and down.
And what the the sisters of mercy, looking for the beaten fleece.
I don't really know what the song is about for real.
William Blake and the Eternals, standing with the sisters of mercy, looking for the beaten fleece.
I really like this song. It's almost hinting at becoming something more fantasy-esque, but we are still, I feel like, solidly in an art rock place with blues vocals. I truly have never heard a song like this. I'm thinking of Renaissance right now, thinking of Jethro Tull once again.
Don't pull no punches, but you don't push the river. You don't pull no punches.
The chills that I have through my body, I wish I could
And
transmit
don't
them
put
to
the
you
river.
guys. The video reaction is not enough. I need the haptics.
You don't pull no punches, and you don't push the river. No, no. Go and mess with the river now.
Just chills every time. When he hits those notes like that, he is belting from his full chest, full confidence, 10 toes down from the mountaintops. I love delivery like that.
Go and mess with the river now.
Nothing held back.
We're going out of the west,
And the interplay of melody between the flute and the
down to the
piano.
cathedrals.
So much to pay attention to.
We're going out in the west, down to the beaches, and the city of the mercy, behind the sun. Oh, behind the sun. And William Blake and the city of mercy,
I don't know
for
these
the
people.
beaten fleece.
William Blake, Sisters of Mercy.
You don't pull no punches, going much with the river at night, and the river at night, on the river at night. Going much with the river at night. No,
Oh, the melody keeps climbing.
you don't pull no punches.
Oh, and the simmering, dude. I love this track. It is so majestic. I feel like I'm traveling through a fantasy land, but all of the items that populate this place are still very familiar. They're just repurposed, almost like Frankenstein, in a way that creates a new world for us to unpack with familiar building blocks. I don't know if you guys, this is a very tangent, but if you guys ever read like those like sci-fi short stories or creepypastas, you may have come across this particular story. But the basic idea was that there was a subway traveler, and one day he decided to take the train all the way down the line, and in so doing, he started to be able to travel to other universes, parallel universes, and all of those parallel universes would have their own subway stations and trains, and different passengers from that time and place would come on and off, but he would be able to remain on that subway train for as long as he wanted. The only issue was, because he rode it all the way down the line, he was never able to return home. And so every single waking hour he would spend on this train, traveling through these different universes, experiencing the characters, the friends, the foes, all of the things that you could imagine inhabiting different sci-fi worlds, until one day he eventually returned to his actual home, but he didn't recognize that it was home. Obviously, this song has little to do with that whole story, but the reason it comes to my attention is because I feel like we right now are on that train experiencing a new world. Though the train station, the train itself is familiar to us, and maybe even many of the components that make up the new universes we're inhabiting all make sense, but it's still not necessarily the thing that we're most familiar with. Van Morrison has the special ability to like transport us to new worlds through the music, using all of the same tools that we already have at our disposal. That is a special talent, and boy oh boy does it sound good.
Going much with the river at night, and the river at night, on the river at night. Going much, going much with the river at night.
Oh, I love how it kept climbing there.
Don't pull no punch.
The simmers again. So textural.
Don't push the river, no.
All of the melodies are fantastic.
Yeah, don't pull no punches. But you don't push the river nowhere.
This is my favorite Van Morrison song.
You don't pull no punches. But you don't push the river nowhere.
Oh, the pizzicato into the soaring strings above.
But you don't push the river.
I just want to play arpeggios on every instrument possible. I started on guitar, but we can go a number of ways. Someone needs to let me know what this song means. I am not having an easy time figuring it out.
William Blake and the Eternals.
Contemplating Baba. It's like Baba Yaga.
Going down to the Desert of Mercy.
I need to look up who William Blake is.
Looking for the vegan foods.
A visionary English poet from the 1700s.
Looking for the vegan fleece.
Vegan Fleece. I've never heard of this.
Don't pull no punches, but you don't push the river. You don't pull no punches, but you.
Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da. Did you hear the call and response there? Let me wind it back just a tad.
You don't pull no punches, but you.
Whoa, from the flute into the strings.
Don't push the river, no.
Oh, I got chills just from the idea, but the execution.
You don't
top
pull
tier.
no punches, but you. You don't push the river. You don't push the river.
This is my favorite Van Morrison song. It is so dynamic. What a fresh listen. The imagination that this song takes. Wow, dude. And it's, I don't even know how to describe the genre of this song. It's like a combination of art rock, of blues, of folk rock, of like alternative. There's probably another set of genres that could be appended on that list, but man, oh man, what a fresh song. I really love that for every single possible reason you could think of. I think the first thing that comes to my attention is the sheer number of unique instruments that played a role in putting this song together, all following one another in sequence, perfectly passing the baton off to one another. Depending on whichever instrument is in the forefront of the mix, you can hear it very clearly. The melody so soothing, and always has a partner in the background, whether it's the flute and strings or Van's vocals and the guitar. Really, it doesn't matter what pairing you take amongst all of the instruments available. All of the pairwise combinations work so well and create this beautifully lush atmosphere. But the thing is, I don't know where this atmosphere is. I feel like there are few places on earth where I could listen to this song and see the landscape in front of me and believe that this song just spawned from that environment. I live in a city. I definitely can't imagine a song like this organically finding itself the concrete from the concrete jungle. A song like this, I need to be deep into nature, and oh man, I really love this one. I wasn't sure what the meaning of this was. I was trying to piece it together because the idea of like not pulling any punches is, you're very forthright. You're honest with what your thoughts are, even if it may hurt another's feelings in the short term, but you don't pull no punches. And I felt like the song was about like some kind of travel, some adventure, and like feeling satisfied as a result of the adventure. But honestly, I am going to, and I don't do this, but I'm going to look this up online. I don't do this very often. Don't pull any punches, meaning, let's see. According to Google AI overview, you don't pull no punches, but you don't push. Is it don't push the river? I think I cut it off in the agenda section. Oh, okay, I had that there. But You Don't Push the River is a nearly 9-minute meditative song from Van Morrison. The song blends personal childhood nostalgia and a spiritual journey across the west coast of Ireland, and a search for an elusive mythical treasure known as the Vedon Fleece. I was thinking, like, whenever I think of fleece, I think of the golden fleece from Greek mythology. I don't know if that actually is if that's referred to as the Vedon Fleece. That's a new pronoun or proper noun for me. But yeah, it felt like a bit of a journey. I didn't realize it was coming from part of his childhood there. Let me keep reading. You don't pull no punches, a boxing idiom meaning to hold nothing back, be completely honest and speak the raw truth without softening the impact. You don't push the river, derived from Gestalt psychology. This phrase means to allow natural processes to unfold at their own pace without forcing or resisting them. I guess then the question becomes, how do we know the process is natural or not? Oftentimes there's this like conflation that we make with our own ability as humans to impact the environment around us, and we may act as though we are the unnatural matter changing the world around us. And in some senses, yes, we are having such a detrimental impact on the environment, but also, isn't this all part of a grander nature anyways? That's something to think about, at least. I'm not too sure what the general consensus is on that, but allowing the natural process to unfold, I understand that roughly. And then here it says, together, the phrase represents a Zen-like balance between two ideas, being rigorously honest about your reality while also having the patience to let life flow without trying to force outcomes. It's an interesting set of thoughts. It's like this mixture of pragmatism and what is the word? Congruence. Basically, it's a version of finding the path of least resistance that is most congruent with the self, such that you are always acting from the realist part of you, and you're not, let's say, foregoing your own values or belief system, while also looking yourself truly in the face. Like when I think about this like as a kind of like iterative pattern where you have a set of knowledge that sits in your brain, you understand it to be your conscious, your values, the facts that you know, and with experience, with new information, new stimuli, you begin to reformulate the belief systems that you had. And over time, as we age, as we experience more, there's more iterations of that sort of learning process that unfolds. And so I can practically look at myself and where I am and see that this is the flow of my life, and there's certain changes that feel more natural and are worth accepting for the self because it is the direction for me to go that aligns me with who I am, rather than fighting against the reality of myself. Because as an example, maybe people in the modern era are forced to work jobs that really don't fulfill them at all, and that is a complete misalignment. And I feel like a song like this, if you were to take its wisdom, may say, the path for you is the one that is congruent with who you are internally. And if something that you are doing does not match how you externally, doesn't match how you feel internally, then you have to be real about that. You can't just force yourself to keep going through the motions, lest you sacrifice who you truly are. It's kind of a direction I could take it, given the the combination of these ideas, but really I feel like there are another set of interpretations that are valid. So please let me know what your thoughts are on this track. But to me, this is a super thought-provoking one, not only from the lyrical perspective, but from the musical one. Man, this was such a densely packed song, and every single second of the song was as enjoyable as the last. Loved the melody, loved Van Morrison's vocal delivery. Like I said, this is probably my favorite Van Morrison song, and one that I'm struggling to fully comprehend. It'll probably take a few more listens to get this one truly under my belt. Enough yapping, let's jump into the next one. This one is Street Choir.
Street choir, sing me the song for the new day. Don't make it long, and remember to sing it the old way.
There's a casual warmth to this that I like.
Let it all out, let your voice ring in the street now. My fun shall be this one to complete.
I really love Van Morrison, man.
Why did you leave America? Why did you let me down?
That moment reminded me of Donna of Grateful Dead harmonizing with Jerry.
Why do you come around?
Or maybe closer to Bill, to be honest.
You know I just can't see it now. In my new world crystal ball.
My New World Crystal Ball.
You know I just can't free you now.
Okay.
That's not my job at all.
Wow, the songwriting is phenomenal, man.
Moving on up.
Constantly subverting my expectations with the
Moving on
beat.
up by the window. Moving on. I'm making that first and flow. Oh, let it all go in the moon glow. I'll take the wine. I'll take the wine with the gravy. As to the time, just send a bill to my baby.
This really makes me happy. I love all the blending of styles. It feels soulful. There's a lot of blues in here. There's that classic rock, the casual rock feel to this. Less electric guitar, more in the acoustic.
And now that
feel like you could just sing this whole song along with your friends. It has almost this like prideful feeling to it.
You know I just can't see you now. Into my new world crystal ball. You know I just can't free you now. That's not my job at all.
Oh, brother. It's like every new decision that he makes turns out to be the perfect decision to make. It could have been a saxophone, it could have been electric guitar, it could have been anything.
Why did you leave?
But he chose the perfect instrument for that moment.
Why did you let me down? And now that things seem better off, why do you call me around?
How do I describe this song? This one's also like... got that like gospel feel to it, but it's like very rooted in... I don't know.
That's not my job at all.
It's like gospel, folk, soul, blues. Oh my god, it just keeps delivering.
That's not my job at all.
And then a fade out. Wow, dude. I am thoroughly convinced by Van Morrison's genius. Who comes up with songs like this? Like, the songwriting here, it is so creative, so tastefully done. It is so difficult to genre blend at this level. Pulls it off seamlessly. And like, I'm struggling to figure out what set of genres this is, because to use any one would correctly identify a song like Street Choir or a song like You Don't Pull No Punches in the Punch the River. Long title song. Yeah, I don't know how the genre blending is this smooth. I wonder what his like writing process looks like, if he's in the room with everybody or if he's writing all the parts on his own separate, like track after track, or if he does it all like in a batch at once and does like the first 30 seconds of a song and then does the next 30 seconds. And, you know, depends on who you talk to. I think most artists will lay down a single track that they got a handle of, and then they will modify things with each subsequent track to try to fit the puzzle together. And just trying to unpack these songs is a puzzle in its own right. I feel like there's so much effort being paid to not only all of the genre blending and the composition of these pieces, but also the production itself, the way that these instruments are positioned in this mix. I feel like when I'm sat here in my chair, I am hearing the trumpets emerge from my left and the strings from my right, and Van Morrison's voice right up in front with the bubbly bass down below. It's so hard to like pick all the little places where the instruments are populating. And then when I like go to bring it up, then all of a sudden the position of those instruments shift, or one of the instruments will drop out, or, you know, will loop on a similar pattern with a slightly different rhythmic pattern underneath. It's like difficult to understand at the detail level and at the macro level. The thing that I can come away with saying is, dude, he is such a creative songwriter, and I love this intense vocal delivery. When he accesses this place, pretty much anything that could be being played in the background would work, in my opinion. That's just my bias. But I think of these two songs today, the first track, You Don't Pull No Punches, just head and shoulders above this, above Street Choir for me. Also, side note, I'm not exactly sure what Street Choir means either. like as I was like reading through these lyrics, trying to understand what's going on, like I was thinking maybe this is something about nationalism, but then the question gets asked, why did you leave America? Why did you let me down? Sort of like implying that Van is the nationalistic one, and confused as to why his cohort, his friends, whoever, are going their own way. In my new world crystal ball, I just can't free you now. Like I have the sort of leash on you, so to speak, because I can predict the future where you're in it with me. But the fact that you're going defies what I thought was going to happen. But I just can't free you now. Like, why is Van in the position of power there? I'm not sure what this song means. Like, I was trying to figure it out, like I said, and even like as I unpack some of those lyrics there, it throws me off course even more so. No one ever said he wasn't poetic. Yeah, please let me know what your interpretations are of these tracks in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed the reaction at least today. If you'd like to request more Van Morrison yourself, you can do so by using the first link in the description box, or you can scan this handy dandy QR code on the screen. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.